This is a new series I'm making. I'm calling it Heartbreakers. It's basically guys who should have won the race, but they didn't, even though they had one of the best cars or one of the best performances. So here we go. 2014 Texas Motor Speedway AAA Texas 500. Jeff Gordon. I thought, what else to start the better, or what other way should I start this than doing my favorite driver at the track I'm closest to. And this is one that I definitely remember and is definitely one of the ones that he should have won. So, leading off, Jeff Gordon coming into this race. This has been one of his best years since 2007 when he had 7 wins, or since one of his championship seasons. So Gordon had 4 wins to this point. He was leading the points. He had led the points most of the year, and he was looking like he was going to win the championship or at least be one of the favorites. The previous week at Martinsville, Gordon led 130 laps but fell short as he finished second to teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr., who won after a late pass of Tony Stewart on pit strategy. So, where does that leave us? Coming into Texas, right? Gordon had a poor history at Texas. He had a pretty bad average finish. I think it was like 18th or something in his career. And so Texas is one of those tracks that they probably looked at and said, hey, this is not one of our best tracks. We really need to perform well here if we want to have a chance. So after finishing second at Martinsville, Jeff Gordon was the points leader in the round of 8. This is the first year of the new elimination style racing. And he had a 3-point lead over second place Ryan Newman. And he had a 7-point lead over 5th place Denny Hamlin. Why is that important? Top 4 make the championship race. So Gordon knew that he had to stay in front of that. Gordon's weekend started off well as he started second in this race. And, well, yeah, that's a really good start for them. After the first caution, Gordon came into the pits 4th. So a very good start for their day so far. And, well, they had a little bit of a struggle on pit road. Here you can see the stop.
Fuel. Stop.
Jeff Gordon saying the car really started to get loose off of turn 2. Maybe somewhat of a tailwind. They're going to put 4 tires. I'm going to go 1 round up on the track bar and tape on the grill. Kevin Harvick saying, I'm tight to the center and loose off. It'll be a 4-tire change for Harvick and air pressure. Jamie.
Matt Kenseth led all the laps so far. A little free-off. He needs a little better turn the first half of the run. It was 4 tires. They made a chassis adjustment, and he will maintain the lead, Alan.
Time well spent.
Yeah, take a look at the right front. That's Scott Brzezowski. Now, they had a lug nut that came and was stuck on the top of the studs. Watch how quickly Scott Brzezowski thinks. He takes the tire off, clears the lug nut, puts the tire back on. That could have been a very costly pit stop and only cost them a few extra seconds and 6 spots. Let's listen to the radio, hear what Jeff had to say.
I had a lug nut stick up there on the hubcap. We had to pull off. Sorry about that. Yeah, it happens.
And we're always sometimes pointing the finger when these guys make a mistake, but we should really give a call to Scott Brzezowski because he did a great job clearing the lug nut quickly and it not being more of a factor than it was. Alan?
I can tell you, that was a real heads-up move.
Gordon ended up only losing 6 spots on this pit stop. Unfortunate break, but a very lucky find for the 24 team. This run ended up showing just how much speed Jeff Gordon's 24 drive-to-end Hunger Chevrolet had, as he was able to rally back up into the top 5 and pass Matt Kenseth for 4th place on lap 88 of the race, just before green flag stops.
This car has been really, really solid. We expect him to make a little adjustment from that first run, even though he was really good then, but driving up from 10th up into that 4th spot now.
Now, been about 40 laps since the last round of pit stops, beginning to see some trickle onto the pit lane under green here.
When this weekend began, Jeff Gordon said, you know what? He said, the chemistry, the communication I had with Alan Gustafson has my confidence at an all-time high. He said, I know we as a team are going to make the right moves and right adjustments. And that last stop, Alan Gustafson put a half round of wedge in it, and what was a loose race car is no longer. Right now, Jeff Gordon has a rocket.
These were the points after 163 laps. On lap 217, Jeff Gordon would take his first lead of the day.
New leader, Jeff Gordon. Or at least will be when he comes back around.
Tires now, nice and smooth.
It's amazing it's taking this long for the 24 to get the lead. It looks like he's had kind of the best car overall when you look at the full run all day long. But Jimmy had that short run speed, was able to keep that lead for so long.
With less than 100 laps to go, we knew that the two best cars on this Sunday were Jimmy Johnson in the 48 and Jeff Gordon in the 24. We knew that it would come down to those two most likely, and who had the best positioning at the end, or who had the lead, or who could have the best pit stop at the end of the race if it came to a late race caution. With about 70 laps to go, Brad Keselowski made a pit strategy call to stay out or take two tires so that they would take the lead and that they would have track position. This ended up being crucial as he was up front and that his two tires would end up actually holding pretty good. Right here, it looks like Jeff Gordon's about to take the lead, but Keselowski actually held his ground and held the lead for a little bit. So those two tires ended up being a crucial part, not just for his finish, but for what happens later in the race.
Joey Logano, flat tire possibly.
Oh, yeah, going.
Keep digging.
Not be able to save it.
Run to the bottom here. Hold on.
Caution for Logano.
There it is, caution.
Here were the point standings with 28 laps to go.
Hook spinner off turn 4. Casey Kane in the grass. Caution is out.
Hold the brake, coming by outside.
And another car with smoke and damage. Marcos Ambrose up in turns 1 and 2. Don't know if he got a piece of that, but yellow flag number 10 here at Texas. I'd say the answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think these two got together coming off turn 4. See Ambrose sliding. Casey Kane got loose and he tried to correct it there. Yeah. Jumped up into Ambrose.
Now came a crucial decision for crew chiefs. Would they pit or would they stay out?
Harvick from 3rd.
Oh, a lot of them came.
Gordon stayed out.
A lot more came than I thought.
Very interesting. All that sliding around and banging around back there. Don't you have to leave them out until?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Trouble. On the backstretch. Casey Kane again. Caution number 11. Another big reset.
All the way in.
And what a disastrous day for Casey Kane.
Now this caution would be huge because Jimmy Johnson would be restarting first and Jeff Gordon is outside in second. And this might have been the second biggest restart of the race. Now look at the points here. Gordon has a 28-point advantage over the cutoff. That is plenty, right? No, he's going to want to go for the win to lock himself in so if something happens at Phoenix. So, of course, he's going to be aggressive on this restart and want to take the lead. Which, here's the restart to see if he does it.
Gordon getting a big push from Tony Stewart. See if that helps him.
Jamie McMurray 3 wide.
Comes Harvick with those tires. Gordon, big run.
Jeff Gordon to the race lead off turn 2. Kurt Busch to the inside of Johnson. Keselowski through 3 wide on the bottom.
Now it looked like it was over. Jeff Gordon finally broke his Texas curse and would win and advance to the championship 4 to compete for his 5th championship. Until.
There with a slide off turn 4, he's into the wall. Front straightaway, caution flag is out.
There he goes out. I think he got you in the left rear.
Wow, you can see it on his face. If we could see Jeff Gordon's face, we'd see kind of the same thing that Alan Gustafson was showing right there.
Things got tight in traffic. Back in the pack, Clint Boyer got turned a little sideways, slapped the outside wall hard off of turn number 4, not once but twice.
looked like Boyer might have had to check up just a little bit to stay out of Paul Menard, and then got tapped in the left rear.
Now, as a Jeff Gordon fan, I was furious because I thought this was revenge from 2 years ago when Gordon intentionally wrecked Boyer. I thought Boyer, because I was at this race and I was like, Boyer intentionally wrecked. He wants to ruin Gordon's championship hopes like Gordon ruined his. This is stupid. I hate Clint Boyer. But, you know, looking back on it, that was pretty dumb. But, yeah. Moving on to the second to last restart.
All right, Nicole, 1 to go here. So look at that last restart. Did Jeff Gordon just choose the outside?
He did. I
I
was just looking. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Wow. Here's that push from Tony Stewart you were talking about, DJ.
Yeah, this one allowed him, you can see the huge push that he's getting. That allowed him to stay up beside the 48, and as they got down here, you can see he gets down on the quarter panel just a little bit. Jimmy not able to get back to the gas. Jeff gets a huge run.
Now remember, the 24, the 2, the 4, they're all competing for a championship. A win gets them to the championship race. They're going to do whatever they have to do to get to the championship race, and Gordon's on old tires. So what's going to happen next? Well, you guys know.
Then that gives him the best opportunity, so he may get up there and try to push this 24.
Green white checker, attempt number 1. Contact Gordon and Keselowski.
Coming outside also.
Keselowski to the outside of Johnson for the race lead.
All clear.
Jeff Gordon may have a flat tire. Yeah, he does.
Gordon spinning, turn 4.
We're spinning
Caution
here.
is out. We'll have another attempt at a green white checker.
Boy, who was the leader right there when that caution came? 2 or the 48?
They'll let us know. But talk about a disastrous turn of events for Jeff Gordon.
All right, come on down here and get 4 tires.
That was some contact with Brad Keselowski.
So Jimmy Johnson will be the race leader. Jeff.
The rest of the night was a disaster. Gordon would pit and they'd do the wrong side, so he had to go out to not get lapped, but he got lapped, and they got a penalty for pitting too soon, so it was a disaster. Gordon ended up finishing 29th in this race, 1 lap down after leading 49 laps and having one of the best cars he's ever had at Texas Motor Speedway. Here's the end of the race.
Catch Jimmy. A frantic finish, and for the 3rd year in a row, Jimmy Johnson wins the chase race in Texas.
Johnson won. Gordon didn't. And because of that, and because of how it happened, Gordon was pissed off. So, here's the aftermath.
Wants to have a conversation and have it right now.
Now, post-race interviews did not help the situation, as Keselowski would say it's just hard racing, but Gordon felt much, much differently, as he would throw an insult Keselowski's way, calling him,
He's just a dip, you know.
This put Gordon in the cutoff spot at 4th place, 1 point ahead of Kenseth. The next week, both him and Brad Keselowski would be eliminated, Gordon missing it by 1 point after Ryan Newman made an aggressive move to make a last lap pass on Kyle Larson to advance to the championship 4. After this, Gordon failed to win the championship, and in 2015 he announced that would be his last year to run full-time in the Cup Series. He ended up finishing 3rd that year, making it to the championship race, and ended up finishing 3rd in that race, which meant he finished 3rd in the championship. Sorry, he finished 6th in that race. My bad. Anyways, Gordon did not win Texas, even though he had probably the best car all day other than Jimmy Johnson. If he were to hold on that last restart and win that race, would he have won the championship? That's a question we'll be asking for a while.